Individual foam fire extinguishers. So why are there so many? So first of all, let me explain. These are traditional foam fire extinguishers. You may have heard recently about fluorine-free foam fire extinguishers. These on this side are fluorine-free. They're two completely different types of foam. So we'll talk about the normal ones, which commonly known as AFFF, aqueous film forming foam. That's what AFFF stands for. We have a 9 litre, a 6 litre, I haven't got it here, but there's a 3 litre, there's a 2 litre and a 1 litre, little baby one. And you can see over here, this is a 3 litre size. So foam in general is used for many types of fires. It all changed many in the late 80s and early 90s, became very popular because of aqueous film forming foam being an additive. It made effectively water wetter. I know it's hard to explain, but it meant it stuck to things and made it more powerful. So a 6 litre foam in the original days had a 13A rating, which was the same as the old 9 litre water. Yes, so 9 litre water weighs about 15 kilos, and if a 6 litre weighs 10 or 11 and has the same fire rating, you can see the advantage. And it's all because of a special spray nozzle. Now you won't be able to see it, but it has an aspirating, a little spinner inside that effectively turns the foam. You won't really be able to see that, but I'll try. But it turns the foam, it doesn't atomize it, but it makes it into little droplets and disperses it more. Due to that, it also is safe on certain types of electrics. Read the label, generally not within a meter, but up to about 1,000 volts. They have been tested. Everyone will say, well, what about the runoff and stuff? But trust me, I think the people who do the tests are quite clever, and they probably thought of that. Now, the difference between foam and the fluorine-free, if you remember foam, anyone who's been in the Navy or Army, thick, gloopy foam, they used to have what's called a branch pipe on the end. Well, this modern fluorine-free is a very different chemical formula and is the future. If you see it as a completely different type of nozzle, it lets air go in and it makes it very gloopy. Therefore, it's a totally different product, but you don't necessarily need foam in the first place. The reason these were sold is no longer applicable because this 6 litre now has a 21A rating. A 6 litre water generally will have a 21A rating. Indoors, unless you've got tons of flammable liquids, which I don't recommend, water is fine. Foam was traditionally for flammable liquids and other things. And now we've all got a bit confused. So you're paying extra to have a foam extinguisher indoors, in my opinion. Smaller ones, though, for taxis, for vehicles, for PSVs or PCVs, passenger carrying vehicles like minibuses and buses, are the thing because they are smaller. In vehicles, quite often powder is more effective, but some won't allow them. Now you're going to have lots of confusion. So if you're subject to regulations, PCV, taxis, minibuses, buses, ADR, make sure you check your local regulations to make sure you've got the right extinguisher. But generally, this is effective. You'll find they all have either the British Standard kite mark or CE UKCA. By the way, in future things, a lot of UKCA will disappear. We've gone back to accepting the CE, which is the legal requirement for a fire extinguisher under pressure. Some of the bigger ones will have the British Standard kite mark. You may say, oh, why haven't they all? But that costs quite a lot of money, and the demand for the smaller ones is not high enough to pay for the certification. It's made in the same factory. They've all got a 5-year warranty. These are a good quality product. You can follow the links at the bottom of the video and find all the prices and all the details.